I get many questions from parents on why are my kids rebellious, or why are my teenagers so rebellious. I have worked as a therapist with a lot of teenagers, and I have got the opportunity to also understand both points of view. So today let me share a couple of reasons why I believe that children become rebellious. The first reason is, of course, a family environment. So if there is any adult in the family that is displaying an angry or a rebellious behavior, then the child clearly learns by imitating or by observing. So if one of the parent has an angry rebellious trait, then the child might have just picked up that behavior from that parent to normalize it. The second reason could be, of course, that if the child is feeling unheard or unimportant, if nobody is noticing the child, and only when once or twice that child is rebelling or throwing a tantrum that he or she gets the attention that he or she wants, then this gets associated, and the child now starts believing that I need to rebel or throw a tantrum in order to get attention. So of course, attention seeking could also be one of the reasons that children rebel. The third reason could be if the family environment is extremely rigid and controlling, which means that strict rules are enforced, there is no freedom, there is no flexibility, and the child has been conditioned to do things on fixed times with a lot of rigidity, punishments, and fear-based discipline styles. And in such situations, to cope up with this fear or helplessness or rigidity, the children often resort to being rebellious. And this has been one of the prominent reasons of rebelliousness amongst the teenager clients I have worked with. Of course, another reason could also be peer pressure. So a lot of teenagers become rebellious just because it's a cool thing to do. Sometimes it is seen as very cool to oppose everything that the parents say, or to not do what the parents tell them to do. Oftentimes it is a challenge among the peers to really defy the rules and do everything that is against the family values or systems. And this defying or challenging need also comes from peer pressure. And the last but not the least, it is also important to understand that rebelliousness among teenagers may also be stemming from the fact that they are seeking to explore their own individuality, because teenage is a phase between childhood and adulthood. And it is in this phase when teenagers are trying to find their identity, find their individuality, assert their views, and really discover themselves as adults. And in that process, if they are not handled well, if they are not handled with a balanced, calm adult, but instead if they are further pushed down, or they are further bullied or by the parents or suppressed, then they may resort to being completely rebellious. So for all those parents who feel that their kids or teens are rebellious, it is very important to understand and first find out why could this rebelliousness be there in the first place, where is it coming from, and as parents, what can you do in order to understand this and help your child understand this behavior? Because let me tell you that teenagers today are very, very mature in certain areas, and if you sit down with them and you explain to them, explain your concerns, and also make them understand how their behavior is affecting you as a parent, then maybe there is a possibility that they might see changes that they need to make in their behavior. So let us not look at rebelliousness as a crime. Let us not try to suppress it, because the more you suppress rebellion, it will come back with double force. But it is very important to understand what is behind that rebelliousness, what is driving that rebelliousness, and then try to sit and sort it out with your child. If you cannot do it, then seek help from a professional therapist or somebody who you and your child can trust, maybe a family friend or a neutral person from outside.